going? My name is James P. White. That is Chris Mooney. This is the Bald and Short of It podcast. And you know what? It's been a beat. We missed doing it Monday because of some very important sports stuff going on in the world. If you don't know what it is, get out from underneath a rock because even I, a non-sports person, are following the Blue Jays and what's going on. They're in the bloody World Series, and so we are going to be talking about that. So we are filming this. Today is Thursday, and we will probably put it up tomorrow because I plan on getting shit faced. But before we get into the the podcast, and we always start the podcast with "How's your week? Show me your drink, Mooney. Show me your drink. What are you drinking? Okay, you're drinking booze this time.
Hmm.
Okay, because I had complaints from our last podcast that I'm proud of you, man. Um,
Oh, you're
I
proud of me, are you?
I had complaints that you were sober last week, and it was the worst podcast ever. It was so boring. And you know, you drunk is the only way I like you, and
I'm not drunk now, but first of all, okay, I don't want to cut you off,
drinking.
but if it ever so happened that I like had a problem with drinking and I needed help or whatever, like we probably would not be able to ever. We'd have to stop talking because
Yeah, yeah, we could be
you're like
friends.
Mooney. You really ought to drink more because you're boring if you don't drink.
Yeah, dude.
Like
I
how many people in AA go like, oh well, I just don't feel like I'm the same person, and I'm
But
like,
Mooney, yeah, no. If you need a sponsor for AA, I'm not your guy because and we're not okay. And for people that are listening, we're not making fun of people that do want to make changes in their
oh,
in
not
their
at all.
drinking. We're not making fun of it. We're just making people understand that I wouldn't be that guy. That would be a good guy to help you stop. Um, and I know my limitations and stuff like that. But as long as you got the booze in front of you, I can continue with the podcast.
As long
So
as you're not your real self.
as because that's not it's, no, you're just boring. You're just boring if you're not drunk and cutting people off and being all about Mooney. And then like you were actually letting me talk last week, and I was kind of confused. And
Maybe that's why it was boring.
because you never cut me off, and I never had to cut you off because you didn't go on and on like the Energizer Bunny. And we like you better when you go on and on like the Energizer Bunny.
Um,
But
so
but when it comes, yeah, okay,
no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
no, no, I was just gonna say we're gonna keep because there's so much to talk about in sports. We are gonna keep it kind of boom, boom, boom because there's a lot to talk about. But you know, couple people do think you're boring when it comes to sports. I'm okay with it. I actually like your sports. It gives me a time to nap. Um,
Okay, I appreciate that coming from a Jedi like you with all the interesting Star Wars stuff.
exactly. I have a
It's a
Star
real
Wars podcast.
compliment. It's a real
I'm
compliment.
not.
Like,
Listen, I'm not a loser. I have a Star Wars podcast.
yeah, even an exciting Jedi with an encyclopedic knowledge of Star Wars needs to get a rest from time to time. So I'm happy to talk about sports to give you that break so you can meditate.
Thank you, thank you for that. That's what friends are really all about.
So this is episode 19, and I know next one is 20 or whatever, but I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I shouldn't say I'm surprised. I'm just uh, surprised is the wrong word. What I should say is that it's been pretty easy, and the higher that number goes, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that because it's just you and me sitting around talking. Like
Yeah, and we're usually talking about what we've done. Usually that involves drinking together. Um,
if you added up um, every time we talked for an hour or more since I've known you, it would be like episode 100.
602. Yeah.
And now we get to save it for
I crashed
posterity.
at your house on the weekend.
Yeah, that's part of our week, I guess. Or you know
Like,
what? Like,
and
yeah, like you said, we always talk about our week or whatever, but we spent most of it together up until Saturday, and then from Monday on,
we
we
haven't seen
usually
each other.
yeah, we usually cast on Monday, and all I've been doing is just regular stuff and watching Jace because the series was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the Oilers played on Sunday and Sunday and yesterday. Or no, wait a minute. What's today? Thursday? Sunday and Tuesday the Oilers played. So this is like sports heaven. It's like they should have like well, you want it anyway, but if Toronto was in the World Series every year, like take the month off, man. Like it's awesome. There's a hockey game. So
Yeah.
there's a baseball game last night. There's a hockey game tonight, and then there's a baseball game tomorrow and Halloween and there might be one Saturday. I hope not, but there's a hockey game Saturday too. I mean, can life get any better? Like, what a time to be alive.
when your glory in life is when all you deal with is sports, you need a better life, dude. Like, if your best day of your life is when it's all sports, get a Star Wars podcast, be a real person.
Yeah, I
um
think Nietzsche or someone said religion is the opiate of the masses or something like that, and I'm like, I think I might have heard um, that statement or that saying applied to sports, and it's kind of true. Like, and even if it wasn't, there's massive parallels because it's like think of all the productive things you could do in those 3 hours or whatever that you're watching sports. But then again, everyone needs a break. Um, but yeah, like if sports right now is the opiate of the masses, I'm free basing.
oh, okay, let's talk about our week now, that you're freebasing.
Well, you were there for most of it, but we'll share with whoever's listening. Um, Thursday, Andrea went to Vegas, and by the way, she had an awesome trip. She told me some really cool stuff that they weren't there for very long. It was like Thursday evening. They left the house at 2 on Thursday, and they came home Saturday night, which I'll never understand. But they packed so much stuff into the trip. They saw Tears for Fears, and she showed me video, and it was so awesome. I'm really glad they went and had a good time. But um, they played Pai Gow, and I've seen it on the floor at the casinos and stuff, but I've never played it. And she's like, we have very similar like sort of gambling habits, like mostly just low. Actually, she bets more than me. I'm like low bet, spin reels. I'm having fun at the casino. I want to make it last, so I don't bet too much because I know I'm never going to come out the winner. I've said that before, but she's like, you can play Pai Gow for like 3 hours because I played for 3 hours and I was up $20. So I could have been down 50, but it's
What's
like
Pai Gal?
Chinese poker. They use the same cards, but I don't know all the details, but I'm gonna learn before I go to Vegas next time. Um, they use one wild card, but it's only applicable under certain things. But I'm looking forward to trying it out anyway. I'm not sure I like table limits like $10, but if you can make it last and have fun, and she said it's very social too because unlike poker or even blackjack, you're not playing against the guy beside you at the table, and the dealer's
Oh,
pretty helpful
you're playing against the dealer, or
ish. And it's like it's all open cards. So like imagine playing poker, but it's cards up. So you're basically and the dealer is actually helpful sometimes. They go, "Are you sure you want to do that or whatever?" So
so it's not bluffing or anything. It's you're just playing the cards that you were dealt.
yeah, and there's I don't know all the rules, so I'm maybe I'll learn more and explain it to you next one or whatever. But I'm definitely okay, the way Andrea spoke so enthusiastically about it. I'm definitely gonna learn it before my next trip to Vegas. Sounds like fun. Um, so they went on Thursday, and what did I do Thursday? Oh yeah, a friend from the fraternity came and he was in town. Um, and he's actually he's a guy that I went to university with that joined our he joined our fraternity before I did, and he's a minister in Scotland. With he's with the Anglican Church, but he also does like I didn't know that he says Presbyterian mass and all that. Not I don't
Hmm.
really understand the Protestants, but we had really good talks. Really nice guy. It was great seeing him. You know who you are, John. And another fella came by too, Wade. Condolences, Wade, but happy birthday. And of course, friend of the podcast, Mike Bayrack. So it was a pretty quiet night though, because there was another game that night. I wanted to get home to watch it. Excuse me. And then Friday, we what did I? Oh, I smoked that sirloin tip or top sirloin. Had the boys
Yeah.
over because we had the Jays game one. Game one was on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's
And
like less than a week ago. Baseball moves
and they
fast.
just and they just finished game five, right?
Hmm. Yep, Wednesday. So anyway, you were there. Jimmy made his vaunted salsa, and it was very good. The fellas,
Yeah, killed it.
yeah, there was none left. I have your jar. Like there was none left. So what can you
Yeah.
say? Next time, I don't know why you don't like if you're
And
gonna go.
no one died.
Yeah, yeah, right. Enough times elapsed. We can't blame you. But
Exactly.
if you make that, like, why wouldn't you make more when you make it? You know, like when people can pickles or whatever and do all that
Because I don't can it. So I store it in the fridge and it can only store for so many days
because it's fresh.
because because it's fresh and I don't can it. So I don't like pick like seal the jars. So they stay in the fridge. So I could, but then I'd have a fridge full of salsa.
When you think
So I
about it, you
usually
know,
make
like
two or three.
I liked yours and I would have it again, but everyone's different.
But
It's kind of like chili. We should have like a salsa contest because I'll look up some shit and make my own. We can compete.
like the way I made it this time was the first time I've ever made it that way.
You don't have to make excuses. I said it was good.
No, it was an experiment. So I didn't want to make a huge amount because even the first batch I made, the second batch was different because ran it through the food processor to cut it up a little bit more and added cilantro instead of no, I added cilantro and parsley, but last time just parsley. So there was some changes to my previous batch, but I
I like
liked that recipe.
I like the heat on the back end, but it could have been tangier. That's my
But
take.
but it still had that bite at the yeah.
Yeah, it was
But
great. I love that.
you don't want it to burn your face off. Not everyone is numb from the face down like you. Like
I'm just
like you,
saying, I might have added a little more heat, but I would have made it tangier too. I don't know if that would have made a difference. Maybe everyone would have hated it. I don't know. But when I do make salsa, I'm gonna do that. We should do like a blind taste test with somebody and
do a salsa off,
yeah, salsa off.
and it's not dancing. Um. So so what else? So we watched the game
Well, that wasn't
at
why
your
we got
house.
together. I arranged that party for you. That was dwarfism awareness.
Yeah,
And
shut up on that one.
and and it was nice to bring people together. It was Dwarfism Awareness Eve, and I decided to bring together some of Jimmy's closest friends and me, and we
It
celebrated
could have been. It could
appropriately.
have done it without you.
We celebrated appropriately, and it was a really and a good time was had by all, and it was nice to raise awareness and just spend time in the fellowship of people that supported the cause. And there was a baseball game too, so and the Jays won. So that was a nice little cherry on top, but that's not why we got together.
You need a life. Because
So
this twit bag all the way through the night. He'd stop. Okay, guys, it's commercial break. We do need to acknowledge, Dwarfism Awareness Day and how much it means to Jimmy. And
To
by
us,
the
to
end of
all
the
of
night,
us.
but by the end of the night, I wanted to stab you.
All of the pledges that I made during commercials and when I paused the game were sincere, and I am dedicated to bringing more awareness to the cause. And
And my hatred of it was sincere as well.
and again, it just felt good. It felt good from a personal perspective to bring a little bit of attention to it on Dwarfism Awareness Eve. And I'm just happy to contribute in any way I can. So thanks for giving me that opportunity, Jimmy. I think, like I said, we all really enjoyed it. You're a special fellow.
You're special too in an Olympic kind of way. Um, okay,
Anyway,
so
so
so that was Saturday.
Dwarfism Awareness uh, Day was the following day, the Saturday, and I was lucky enough. Part of my contribution to the cause was to put Jimmy up for the night, and so I was elated on Dwarfism Awareness Day in the morning to open up the gift that was you, Jimmy, and see you there in having coffee in the morning. So that was fantastic, and I wasn't satisfied with just having the party. I wanted to give you another gift, so I appropriately played the Yacht Rock documentary from HBO for you, so that you can understand more. I wanted to give you the gift of music and the understanding of Yacht Rock. So, oh, I'm gonna tear up, but you're welcome.
And
I love you, brother.
you're one of the reasons I drink. But one thing about that documentary was the fact that I what they call yacht rock. I didn't know, like, quite a few of those bands and songs, like even some of the guys like Kenny Loggins and stuff like that. They're heavy on the yacht rock, but they're also well known for rock, like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
as well.
the definite, well, the sort of pseudo definition. I mean, there's a band that I listen to right now. Their record came out about 6 months ago called Young Gun Silver Fox. They're like new, and you've heard their shit and you like it. It sounds
Yeah,
like yacht rock, and you could not call it yacht rock, but the technical um, parameters of the term are like from the mid '70s to the or late '70s to the mid '80s.
yeah.
But I can, and it's subjective. But there's the fellows that coined the term that did that documentary. They have a podcast called Yacht and Yacht, and it's whether a song is yacht or not. And they grade songs that people ask them to grade based, and they call it the Yachtski scale. And so there's songs that are newer that are on the boat, as they call it. So if you have a 50% or more grade, you're on the boat. I thought you'd learn all that from the
I
documentary, but
did, I
I
did,
was
but
I
it's
was
just
just happy to
this
share it with
this is
you
a
on that.
podcast, not a a testimonial on you know yacht rock. This was a discussion about it. Not I didn't need to break down
We should
on
have a
what it
segment.
actually is.
We should have a segment called this week in yacht rock. And if there's nothing current, I could talk about like this album came out or something. I'm totally doing that. I'm the
Um,
talent. I don't need your approval. I'm just gonna have a
actually,
segment called this week in yacht
I
rock.
think I think what you should do is you should do that on the Bald podcast when it doesn't involve the short. Just
So
when
anyway,
when there's a sequel called the Bald podcast.
well, yeah, well that might happen. I mean, it worked for Kenny Loggins when he broke up with Jimmy Messina. You know who Jimmy Messina is? Nope. But you know who Kenny Loggins is. So maybe that might happen with this partnership.
Can it be today?
Like Michael Jackson had to leave the Jacksons at some point. Lionel Richie had to leave the Commodores. I mean, these wings might spread, Jimmy, before you know it. but I'll always give you credit, and especially on Dwarfism Awareness Day. Getting back to Dwarfism Awareness Day, on that Saturday, we were lucky enough to watch the Yacht Rock documentary, and I was more than happy to share with you on that special day. Then we got a call from a friend of the podcast, Johnny, who the night before we made tentative plans to watch the UFC, which was in Abu Dhabi, and it started at 12. I think the main event started at noon. I missed one. I missed one of the five main event fights, technically two, but you were with me before I left. And what happened? You're talking about
I'll
you're boring. You're boring when you're not drinking, Mooney. I mean, I wasn't drinking that morning, and
I'll get in. I'll
I
get
gave you the
into.
gift. I
I'll
gave
get
you the
into
gift of
where
Yacht
what
Rock.
I did. I'll get into what I did when it's about me. Right now, this is
All right.
about your week, Mooney, not
I
my
gave
week. Your week.
I g-
Your week, Mooney. Finish your
well,
week.
it was with you. I want to
The
share that.
people want to know about your
I want to
week.
celebrate dwarfism awareness. Can you let me please do
Just
that?
finish.
Like, I'm
No,
inclusive.
finish your week. Finish your week.
Okay. Well, I was more than happy and excited and grateful to be hosting a guest, particularly on Dwarfism Awareness Day, regardless of who the guest was. And I was happy to share the gift of Yacht Rock with that guest. But that guest, it turns out, wasn't eager to spend more time with either me or a friend of the podcast, Johnny. So I went to meet Johnny at Canadian Brew House on 109th Street and 104th Ave to watch UFC alone. Luckily,
With Johnny.
luckily I
You
was in
had
good.
Johnny. You
I
didn't
went.
need me. You had
I
Johnny.
went alone. I enjoyed. I celebrated further Dwarfism Awareness Day with Johnny by watching UFC, and
There's a lot of dwarfs in UFC. Um,
there should be. I mean, that would add to it, I think, because maybe if there was more awareness, that might happen, and that's what I'm trying to
so
accomplish.
midgets
So
in the UFC said no one ever. Um,
I can show you my correspondence with Dana White, but anyways, Johnny and I watched UFC, and they like Canadian Brews always has good steak. I like that place. I know it's a chain, but we typically when UFC's on and we watch together, there's two things we do. We usually get a steak, and the other thing is we bet on each fight, just the two of us, and it's $5. So whoever won last time puts $5 down and gets to pick who's going to win that fight, and they get first
do
pick.
you pick? Do you pick by what?
You pick, but you
By
pick by odds who you think's going to win. So the
no,
other guy is
do you pick? Okay, I think so and so is going to win, and it's going to be a submission. So and so is going to win,
no,
and it's going to be a TKO.
it's money line. It's straight up. So whoever gets first choice gets first choice. And last fight, Johnny gave me first choice, and so I picked. But then that means that the next fight, Johnny gets first choice. There's only two fighters, and there's only two betters, so it's $5 all in, and it's actually kind of fun. So, anyways, and you can't do it with three.
It wouldn't work the same with three people. So
Yeah,
you're
no, it's
welcome for
exactly.
you're welcome for me not going. At least it gave you another facet that you can hang out with your buddy Johnny. You're welcome. I looked out for you by not being
Well,
there
I mean, like I said, different people
so that you can
celebrate.
bond with Johnny.
Well, no, we wanted to celebrate the day. It was just unfortunate that you didn't want to join us.
I,
But
I just
I mean, winning five
I
bucks
did
in
it.
a
I did it for you.
UFC thing is nothing compared to the joy of your company and friendship. But we can talk about that some other time. After I had a few beers with Johnny and watched the UFC, which by the way ended early because in the first round of the actual main event, the title fight, the main fight, um, the guy got poked in the eye, like, and he said knuckle deep, and they showed the replay, and it was gross. Like I don't know, it like maybe first knuckle, but it was definitely first knuckle, like up
Oh wow.
like up to here, like it was ugly. And yeah, the doctors came out and they looked at him like he wasn't lying on the ground, he was just pouring water in his eye and just trying to get back, and he's like, yeah, I can't fight. So it basically got shut down. But the other fights were really good, and It's fun to watch UFC. So I did that, and then I came home, and I think the Jays are playing on Saturday night, and I had more than one guy contact me and go, "Hey, you're gonna go watch the game, hey?" And I turned them all down. I kind of just wanted to celebrate quietly, like dwarfism awareness, and light a candle. And Andrea was coming home that night too, so that was my Saturday, and then
How are you
Sunday.
still alive? How has someone not killed you?
So besides the Blue Jays, that was my day. Sunday was football, like it normally is, and F1 and Oilers. So it's just been phenomenal, all the sportsing.
We're Thursday. You've still got 3 more days there, buddy.
Well, I told you, like all I've done, like literally from Sunday to when the Jays weren't playing, the Oilers were playing, and I, I, I mean, like what a gift!
It
Like
was like an all you can
Sunday
eat buff.
You had NFL, Formula One, Oilers, and the Jays weren't playing. Like it couldn't have worked out better. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was Jays. Today's Thursday. What do you want from me? I already espoused the virtues of all this stuff. I mean, I sometimes I wonder why I try so hard. I mean, I put together that big spread on Friday for the Dolphins Awareness Eve party that everyone enjoyed, and what more do you want me to do? Anyway,
Die.
for all intents and purposes, that was my week. And again,
Okay.
and again, the Dolphins Awareness. I pledge to do my part.
So for a lot of last week, I hung out with this dick knuckle. Um, and on Dwarfism Awareness Eve, as he was calling it, I there was a few times I wished he was dead, but and tried. Um, but other than that, last week was kind of the same. We hung out, but the highlight of my week was actually yesterday. Was because I was babysitting my cousin's puppy. She has a really young puppy. He's only a few months old, and she where she works. She works in the office once a month, and the rest she works from home. And so he's little, so he needs to be let outside like every half hour, and he's a cute little puppy. I have cuts and bites all over me from him, teeth. I think he's teething. Um, and he likes the taste. He likes the taste of my socks for some reason. But he's a cute little puppy. His name's Jasper, and then she has an older dog named Aurora. And so I spent the day with that a day with them yesterday, and it was just fun. I spent a lot of time cleaning up pee because by the time I figured out that he wanted to go outside, he was peeing on the floor
That
because he's
what it took you that long to figure it out, or the dog's not trained.
he's still learning, and it's knowing his signals. It's because like he's just
So
learning. He's
letting the
not
dog,
house.
you go let knowing his signals, but doesn't what that really mean is like letting the dog run your show.
No, but you got to know when because he's a puppy and he's got a small bladder. Like he went outside and peed and then came inside and peed. Like he's just a puppy. He's learning. And that happens with a lot of puppies. Like, I don't know if you've ever had dogs, but you have to learn because you have to, if they're signaling, like if they're running to the door, then they're telling you
Okay, like yeah,
that,
like okay,
they're telling you that they need to go, but it's just, he hasn't quite we haven't figured out his language yet on his signal that he needs to go. So we have to figure out read his
Is there like
puppy language.
is there crating involved at all? Because lots of people talk about crating who got dogs. Like Tony, my friend Tony, they have a golden retriever. They
I
got him like
Yeah,
2 years ago,
like
Charlie.
she's working on it with him,
Hmm.
but he's just a puppy, and
I just That's cool.
we have a routine, and he only peed in the house half the time.
Do you pee in the house? Like, is that maybe it's marking his territory, or like did you get
No,
drunk?
when I let him outside, I go pee on a tree. I don't even pee in the house.
Oh well, because that's the other thing I forgot to mention about my week was on the Saturday.
You
Um,
were potty trained?
no, well, on Dwarfism Awareness Day when I was watching UFC with Johnny, he was saying, "Well, how come Jimmy's not coming? It's like his day." And I'm like, "I know," but and he said he didn't want to come, and he goes, "Oh well," he said
Part of
on
my
the
reason for
he
not
said
going.
he said hang on, he goes on the Dwarfism Awareness Eve party, he he drank like probably twice as much whiskey as me because your shot glass was one of those double shot glasses and his was like regular. And in fairness to John, like, and you know, I hope that you have nothing to complain about, but you were the guy saying shots, let's go shots. That was kind
Oh
of
no,
you.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I wasn't blaming it. That was another reason why I didn't want to go out and continue drinking. I was
And I
so
and I found more
hungover,
than a
I did
few. I
not.
found more than a few pee stains on the floor and stuff too. So, but I'm not going to blame you or anything,
No,
particularly
no,
given
that
that
was that was that was Bayrak. I saw him. I kept. I At one point I rubbed his nose in it, but no, it wasn't me. It was Bayrak. And for those who are listening who don't know who Bayrak is, he's a friend of the show, and yeah, he's still learning to be potty trained. He taught his kids, but he forgot how.
okay, you want to shift
That's
responsibility or blame? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not. I'm just saying, not for
Hey,
nothing.
no, but that one time I did rub his nose in it.
In your pee,
No, in his.
okay,
Okay, but that was my week. See,
okay. So did you?
so
Part of your week was you were at the Dwarfism Awareness Eve party. You don't have any takes from that,
no,
or
I didn't go to a Dwarfism Awareness Eve party. I went to go watch the Blue Jays
it was a surprise.
because I
All
I,
the
I
guys
went to go
said so when they
watch.
came.
I know, and I wanted to leave because I hate Dwarfism Awareness. I hate dwarfs. I hate midgets. I'm the only one I like. Like,
There's a hockey
and you
player.
kept.
There's a hockey player. Who was it? Is it Pat Verbeek? Um, his nickname was a little ball of hate. Like, is it Mike Keane? I'm not sure. Someone like that. They call him a little ball of hate. That's the first thing that came to my mind when you go, I hate doors. I hate. Okay. All right, Archie Bunker.
But so before we get into the sports, we might as well touch on a couple quick things. As you said, on Saturday was Dwarfism Awareness Day, and what for those who don't know, uh, the reason why it's on October 25th. The reason is because there was a famous little person. Um, I'm I can't remember his name now. He formed the Little People's Association of America, and that was his birthday. I can't think of his name. Why am I blanking at what his name was? He was in Willow and a bunch of movies,
Oh,
but
he's British.
yes,
Yeah, he was in the thing with Ricky Gervais and what's his name? Or Carl Pilkington.
Billy Barty.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different fella.
Oh, the one you're talking about, you're thinking of um, Warwick Davis
There you
because
go.
he was,
That's the name.
but but the date of the Dwarfism Awareness Day is actually based on it's the birthday of Billy Barty. He's the founder of the Little People's Association of America. He has been very well known for helping little people in whatever ways that they can, what he can, helping educate little people on how to modify, like get them with the hook them up with the resources, like to be able to drive a car, so the Little People's Association was actually like a group where people who don't know, especially parents who are new to having a little person kid, hook them up with doctors and specialists and stuff like that for uh, that.
How
And
awesome is
like,
that? Sorry, like how awesome. Sorry to interrupt, but I think
yeah,
that's friggin' awesome. Like you set up a group, and you're the purpose of your outfit is to be facilitators. So we're not forming this group to get money from the government or to, like uh, treat every person that belongs to our group as a victim. What we're trying to do is facilitate making your life easier. And I'm like, there should be more charities like that. I think that's awesome. Sorry, go on.
but there are people in that organization who also fall into the category of I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Like there is a number of people. He's not one of them. He's been in tons of movies. He was in uh Willow, as I said, Masters of the Universe, a bunch like the one with Dolph Lundgren. He was in there, and a bunch of really cool stuff. But Dwarfism Awareness Day, like for myself, every year, I've always tried to share what it is to be a dwarf to other people. Last year, I talked about the word midget, how some little people find it offensive. I don't. Um, I did when I was younger. I don't. Uh, but the reason I don't and I use it is because I've taken power away from the word. No one can use the word dwarf to make fun of me because I already do it to myself. I like if I'm walking down the street, someone goes, "Hey, look, there's a midget." I go, "Where is that little bastard following me again?" Um, stuff like that. But there is a difference between midget and a dwarf. I'm technically a dwarf. Like the word midget is also a classification of little people. Midget is short, but properly proportioned. I'm not huge head, my wore a wide torso, the whole 9 yards. But whereas a midget is basically a nice, like a simple way of putting with a midget is they are small adults. Like they look exactly like the same body structure as you. Like you know the same length, arms just short. The average size heads. They just look like small kid, like old kids. Really is a
Yeah.
simplistic way to look at it, and that's what I've talked about in previous years. This year, uh, I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to be really quick with this. Is with being a little person, or actually, it's being a little person, but it's also being anyone who's physically different. You always have people treating you like it's an assumed disability. Being a dwarf can be a disability if you let it. My dad taught me to fight through everything. To You can't do it like everybody else. Figure it out. And when you go and try a job that you would work with normal people, I do it differently. Like where I currently work, I work in a restaurant. I climb on stools. I have different ways of doing things Like when I'm wiping down a table, I climb into a booth and wipe down the table. I stand in the booth. And then a funny thing with that is I'm standing in the booth wiping down the table, and then I hear a kid at the next table going, "Mom, I thought you said we weren't allowed to stand in the booth." Well, you're not. He is. He's an adult. You're not. But so with one thing that I like to say is we are no different than anybody else. Like we aren't victims. We have to do things differently. Like I was talking about driving a car. You need either hand controls or, pedals on pedal extensions. In my case, I couldn't use the pedal extensions because my feet don't reach off the seat. So I'd have to use, hand controls if I was doing that. But I spent an eternal, my blood alcohol level is usually high 24/7. So, it's probably not good for me to drive, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But, but the thing is though, is being, am I ashamed of being a little person? No. Do I hate being a little person? No. I love it. I actually, if it wasn't for the fact that I am a little person, I actually wouldn't be living in Edmonton. I'd probably still be working. I'd probably still be working at my parents' company in Tabor, Alberta. But being a little person, I joined the basketball team, moved here, and embracing who I am is what Dwarfism Awareness Day really is. It's about embracing and owning it. Like you have to own it. It doesn't matter if you're short and good looking or big and bold. You know, I'm not, pointing fingers, but, you have to own it. Like
Okay.
embrace your boldness, Chris. Embrace
Yeah.
it. And one thing, and like you've brought this up in the past when it comes to there is a dwarfism awareness day, and you go, what about bald people? What about bald people? Well, there is bald awareness days as well. Here, let me explain some of those to you. Because there's quite a few. August, I don't know if you know this, is hair loss awareness month. So let your no hair fly, hair fly. Dude, let people know that you're proud of being bald.
But
No
I
hat
got
day.
the horseshoe. I got the horseshoe. I don't have hair loss. So I
But,
have hair. I can grow
no,
a
but you,
beard.
but,
Like I don't have
but
alopecia.
the bald spots, that's, that's caused by hair loss.
But it's male
Your hair,
pattern
for your,
baldness, I think, is what.
and
Anyway, I mean, they
that's,
could have phrased it
that's,
better.
okay.
Which
But
by the way, I gotta ask you. You know,
no,
like
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done celebrating bald people. Okay, just let me celebrate bald people because the world
okay,
celebrates with you.
all right,
Like
absolutely. I
the
feel.
world celebrates with you.
I
Okay,
thank you,
so on
James. I feel
September
seen. Thank you.
13th, on September 13th, every year is National Bald is Beautiful Day. All for you, Chris. Bald is
Yeah,
Beautiful Day,
I could get behind that.
and and on October 14th, and I'm sorry I miss celebrating it with you. And as a friend, I feel like I've wronged you. But on the on October
October
14th
14th.
was Be Bald and Be Free Day. And, everyone, let's celebrate Be Bald and Be Free. I'm glad you're free and bald. You're
I
free
don't
from
even.
hair,
I don't
free,
even, I don't even know what that means. Like be bald and be free. Like bald is beautiful. It's cool. That's a positive message. Like beautiful is a fucking adjective, but it's like be bald and be free. Well, freedom is one thing and baldness is another. I don't see any kind of correlation. That's kind of like going, it's be bald and eat spaghetti day. So whoever came up with that day is, I don't know, like might need to
dude,
reassess their day
dude,
naming.
dude, embrace it. Don't hate it. Don't,
I'm pointing out the
cause
logical
see, cause see,
inconsistencies. That's all.
hate leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering. So
Oh, here we
don't
go.
hate on be bald, be free. Like live in the love and be
Mhm.
free. So
One thing I gotta ask a couple things actually, because you said I just want to make sure as your friend, you go like, well, I take back the word midget, or I, like
take power,
take
take the
power.
power away.
Yeah, like I think that, and hopefully we're thinking along the same lines, but it's like I don't take myself too seriously or so seriously that I'm gonna let someone bother me over something I can't control, right? So
Yeah,
it's like a right ish.
it, yeah, kind of. Because the thing is I hated being called midget. It used to make me mad. It it was a hot button for me, you
Yeah.
know. And the thing is when I owned it and I took the power away, they can't make me angry by calling me a midget anymore. I took the power away from it. It's the same with anything. You can take the power away, like you know,
No, I
own
get
your
it.
power, your power of boldness. Don't let people tear you down for being bold. Own it. Love your boldness, Chris. Love it.
Yeah.
Love
You
yourself.
say you say you took the power away from them. I think maybe another way to put it is like you took the malice away from them because you saw them for the petty, superficial people that they were, and you stopped letting it bother you, right?
Yeah, but but they would do it to try and exert power on me, over me, because
Yeah.
to
I mean, I think
change
we're
my
on the
mood,
same. Yeah, we're
to
on the
like,
same. We're on
because
the
they
same
use it
page.
to make me mad. If I don't let it make me mad, then they have no power over me.
Okay. I have another question that I said I had another question, so I'm going to ask it. Um, you said that it was Dwarfism Awareness Day, right? But that they they named Dwarfism Awareness Day in honor of the fella that established the Little
No,
People's.
yes, he was the biggest, he was the biggest influence on helping little people.
So
Was
why
he
don't
was one of
so
the
like
first
if I was
ones.
part of the Little People Association of America and I wasn't a dwarf and maybe I was just a midget, then I'd be a little bit, why does he get his day or his people get their day? Like, are there schisms within the midget community, or
Not really. You know,
like?
I don't know if you're trying to, I don't know if you're trying to start a civil war between little people, but like,
I'm like, why is it dwarf? Like, is there a Little Person's Awareness Day? Because
cause
that's
they
a
can't,
like the bald thing's
but
been done to
that's,
death. I can appreciate that. Like, we get to like bald and free. Like, what the fuck is that? But is there a Little Person's Awareness Day?
I doubt it. Like, I don't think so,
Yeah.
but it's, okay, don't start, turning something nice into starting a civil war. All of a sudden, little people are going to be
No,
feuding.
I'm advocating for
It's,
more. Like,
it's going to be the
you will not
Montagues.
find a better friend of the dwarves than me. I mean, I'm
It's going to
throwing.
be the Montagues and the Capulets of little people. Like it's like like yes, we're turning something good because Chris doesn't like the fact that it's called Dwarfism Awareness Day. He preferred Little Person Awareness Day.
No,
So
I'm saying
therefore, all midgets
no,
must fight. Um,
no. I'm saying give them one. Give the little people that aren't dwarves another day. And like, and if there's other subcategories, then give them a day too. I mean, like I said, I'm embarrassed.
but
Give them one of the bald people days. Like, change October 14th from like fucking bald and free to like midget day, or little people awareness day. Like, you guys can have that.
see,
That's a
see,
sacrifice I'm willing to make, to the
see,
little people community.
the thing is I think the why they keep it simple like that is when you have the separate categories, then you have to explain it. Because like for me to explain the
That's what
difference between
awareness is.
no, but in doing it, because the thing is there's 200 different types of dwarfism. So what are we going to have a day for each type of dwarfism?
Yeah, I don't want any
Like
kind of Star Wars thing. Like, fuck that.
no, dude. There's like I'm not joking. There's over 200 different types of dwarfism, and the most common one, and all of them are called dwarfism. Whether you're a midget or a dwarf, they're all called a form of dwarfism. So that's why there is a Dwarfism Awareness Day, because they're all forms of dwarfism. It's just there's a difference between a midget and a dwarf, and that's the only
So,
separation.
but you
But
okay?
it's
But then
called
there is,
it's called a form of dwarfism.
but not midgetry is not a form of dwarfism.
Midgetry is not a word,
It's
but
it is. I
it's
coined it. It's midgetry. Is midgetry a form of dwarfism?
no, it's a cult of it's a form of Mooneyism. Um, but so it's called Dwarfism Awareness Day. The most common form of dwarfism is the one I have, which is achondroplasia. But as I said, there's 200 different types, and some other diseases or conditions lead to dwarfism. Some is hormonal, some is glandular, some is of so, something causing it. Like like there's so many different types. So you can't have a day for all of them. And but it was agreed upon when they came up with the awareness day. It was agreed upon by the Little People's community to call it Dwarfism Awareness Day.
Okay, as long, but I'm just saying that because days get handed out like candy, and like the bald community, like I'm a strong advocate and proud member of. Um, like like we have 3 days, and I'm just like there should be more than one day. And like you said, if there's like 200 odd days of dwarfism, surely they can be afforded another day, or excuses don't need to be made, for there only to be one day. I mean, like I said, there should be a day for like the common midgetry, or like the people that, involve are slot into that category at the very least. Or if the powers that be only grant you one day, then they should call it Little People Awareness Day or something. All I'm saying,
But
I'm an
just
advocate of more
also
days.
so so that
I
you
want to
know,
give you one of our
okay,
days.
okay, so that you know, Dwarfism Awareness Day is on during Dwarfism Awareness Month. There is an entire month for us short
Oh,
little people.
Jesus, there's a month?
Okay. There's an entire month, the month of October,
Okay.
dedicated to people of short stature. So you
Okay.
can you can get off your short box, your soapbox, and try to protect the people. Um, we're looked after, but thank you.
Uh, if you were, hang on. Keep, keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is a professional podcast, folks. He's going to pee. Um,
No, I was
but
just picking up
yes,
some, I was picking up something at my door from Google, and I was afraid they'd make me sign for it. It's no big deal. So, um, so if you were a gay dwarf, you would have like LGBT, you'd have 2 months to celebrate. If you were a bald and gay dwarf, you would have 2 months plus like three, like largely frivolous days. If you were
there's
a black, gay, bald dwarf, like your whole life would be like three, like at least a third of your year would be fucking celebrations and partying and shit, eh?
you need help. Okay. So on a different note, so we don't get sued by every organization on the planet.
I didn't
And
mention any. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's an observation. I think it's a fair
so
one.
so what we hinted at earlier in the podcast, that we would get into one of the not elephants in the room, but one of the big things going on in the world today. More important than anything on the planet, if you don't believe me, ask Mooney, is the World Series and Blue Jays and what they're doing. Mooney, break us down, baby.
I don't have any like more superlatives or like I or, like to say about this team. I've been saying it for the last few months on this cast about this outfit. I think I when like in the summer I was talking about keep an eye on these guys. I am not here to say I told you so because nobody has the power to do that. Otherwise, we'd all be millionaires off gambling. I'm just saying that I identified like I'm just saying that an observer would have identified really that this is a really tight knit and proud and caring outfit. And I've been in a lot of locker rooms in my life playing sports, and I've been in good ones and I've been in shitty ones. And this locker room, like this clubhouse with these fellas, even seeing them on the dugout, I mean, they fucking love each other, and it's such a good story. I mean, I'm not going to bore anybody with stats. Just like briefly, like Game 5, the series is tied 2-2. Um, Game 3 was 18 innings, which ties the record for the most innings ever in the history of World Series. And I'm talking now over 100 years of organized baseball. 18 innings these two teams played in one night. The game went 6 hours, 39 minutes. Now, if this was hockey, in fairness, if this was hockey, the guys wouldn't be able to skate. I know that baseball, in terms of exertion, isn't minute, second by second. But by the same token, I mean, the awareness and the concentration required is huge. So 6 hours, 39 minutes, they lost in the 18th inning, and it was just unfortunate. I think that we are on cusp of winning. The next day, Shane Bieber, a guy we picked up at the deadline coming off Tommy John surgery, just has a fantastic outing. Pitches like 6 innings and held them down, and the bats went back. And I mean, these guys, I've talked about it already. Guys who started the season in the minors, like Davis Snyder, who hit like the first pitch home run last night. Ernie Clement, who we got from the A's in 2023 because he was designated for free agency. He had no home in 2023. He's like leading. He's got a 11 game hitting streak, which is like I think another World Series or World Series playoff record close to it. Nathan Lucas toiling in the minors for 3,000 games. Okay, like 10 years. He's 31 and he's in the World Series. And you know what? When George Springer goes down, David Schneider comes up and and knocks a dinger. Like, I mean, this team is incredible, and they don't do it because they don't care. They do it because they care how much they care about each other. They're fantastic ambassadors of the country of Canada and the city of Toronto, and if you were just some guy watching baseball, it would be impossible not to be cheering for these fellas. Um, I did just a little. I don't want to bore anybody, and I've probably said too much already, but the roster last night for Game 5, and I know that that Trey Savage, our starting pitcher, again, who's like just legendary. The kid pitched 7 complete innings. He had 12 strikeouts and no walks. That's a World Series record. He's 22. He started the year in the minors. He makes $59,000 a year because he's a rook, and that's what those poor bastards make riding the buses in the minors. There's nothing he can do about it. If they win the World Series, he gets $350,000. If they lose in the World Series, I think he gets a nice chunk of six figures anyway. But I digress. The Dodgers' salary last night for the team that hit the field last night for the starting pitch, their salary was $174.4 million. So they had $174.4 million of players on the field last night at opening pitch and or in the dugout, active roster guys. The Jays, $74.56 million invested in the players that made it out there. A lot of the guys I just talked about. They're not millionaires. They're not. If you like, they were not favorites going into this. They lead 3-2 right now after Game 5. With Game 6 tomorrow, Friday in Toronto, they have home field advantage. this ragtag bunch of guys that just love each other and care about the game and care about doing it right and next man up mentality. $74 million against $174 million, and they have home field advantage for Game 6 starting tomorrow, Friday in Toronto. So, I mean, it's a even if I wasn't a baseball fan and wasn't watching these guys from April when the season started, um, and even a casual fan, I like it would be very hard for me not to cheer for these sons of bitches because they're like just a great group of guys. What chemistry? Like what a as a fan, what a treat to watch these guys. Like you're cheering for them. Like remember when we were kids and you'd watch the Olympics? Like I used to get kind of addicted during the summer and they had the Olympics on. Like quite often I would watch the NBC feed over like the CBC one because they did so much work in production. They taught you like you're watching a sport that you've never really watched except for like once every 4 years. And it's some guy in the rings in gymnastics or something. And before they show like the semifinal, excuse me, this fella, they talk about how he grew up poor or how he helped the needy or how his, God forbid, someone in his family died. And they got like a whole vignette about this fella. And then you're like, man, I'm cheering for that guy. You like the people behind the sport. And I think that in a lot to a large degree, that's why we all cheer. It's like where do we see similarities in these guys and ourselves? Like what about what they're doing is aspirational? And if you want an aspirational outfit that you can really get behind and cheer for, the Toronto Blue Jays, my friends, are your team this year, and I can't wait to see them. I'm sorry, I don't want to jinx anything. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that our Toronto Blue Jays will capture the World Series title this year. And that's all I got to say about that.
We're not done with that yet because I have Sports for Dummies sitting right here, or the dummy for sports. Um,
I like that better.
now, one thing is which game was it that went 18 innings? That
That was Game
was
3.
what's the maximum that a game has ever gone? Do you know?
Yes. I don't know the exact number of innings, but it was in the 30s. But it wasn't majors.
Police.
It was like in AAA, like some kind of version of AAA. Um, uh, like in professional baseball, it was like some kind of AAA United Baseball League or something. And like I don't know, the 50s. They're like Newsy Jenkins at the bat. Like he's a Knickerbocker from New York. Like
Oh, okay.
like that kind of stuff. But yeah, 30 odd innings. But in terms
So
of Major League Baseball,
they never end in a tie.
no, how can you? Like, who
Or
wants?
like in a tie, or like in hockey they have a shootout.
Yeah, like
So
NHL
it's
used to have ties. Soccer still has ties, which I don't subscribe to ever. I mean, we're talking about competition, and what's competition? Winning. I was so glad when the NHL got out of that shit. Like, and more importantly, I was so glad when they introduced the shootouts because they didn't they didn't they didn't used to have a shootout. So they would play an extra 5 minutes, 4-on-4, and if nothing happened, it's a tie. And that was
but
bullshit
in
too. Like, why
but
am I
in
here if I'm going to
hockey
walk away with the same points you got? We're competing.
but in hockey if they're a tie in the regular time and then they win in the shootout or overtime or whatever it is, it's still classed as a tie in the records still for hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, in hockey they call it the Bettman point, and what that means is that um, if I beat you in regulation in hockey, I get 2 points, you get none. Okay, but if
Okay.
we tie in regulation in hockey, I get 1 point, you get 1 point, and the winner of the shootout and or overtime gets an extra point. So
So
instead of two,
the winner gets 2 points, and then the one he tied with gets 1 point.
yeah, the loser gets 1 point. So that's why in
Yes.
hockey, like before they had the shootout rule, if you like, there's 82 games in a season. If you won half of them, it would be 40. You'd be at 41, 40, 41, 41, meaning 41 wins, 41 losses. But they also have a category called overtime losses now. So now, if you had, I'm really bad at math, but let's just say you had like two overtime losses in an 82 game year, then your record would be 40, 40, and 2. So there isn't a team in the NHL that hasn't had three numbers instead of just win loss. There's win loss and overtime loss because the overtime loss counts for a point. Does that
Okay.
explain it?
Yeah.
I hope so, because I don't want to bore you any further.
Um, what else did I, what else did I have? I had one other question I wanted to ask you with dealing with it. Um, so just so I can understand this, the top of an inning is the beginning and the bottom is
Yeah,
the end.
yeah,
So an inning is one team goes up to bat, then the next team goes up to bat, and then it's the next, and that's an inning, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And the home team always bats at the bottom of the inning.
Oh, okay.
Do you know why that
Do you
is?
know? No.
Because if I'm the home team and I'm playing you, and we've just battled it out, and you started at the bottom of the ninth, and it was 2-1 for me, um, then and it ends, then I don't have there is no bottom of the ninth because I've already led you. But if it's like 2-1 for you, I get an extra half inning to see if I can't get that
To
run back.
to redeem yourself.
Yeah,
So because if the away team ends the game or ends the inning, the home team doesn't have a chance to battle back.
yeah.
So
But because that's one
so
of the
that's
benefits of being the home team is that you got a chance. Which, by the way, really resonated in that fucking 18 inning game because like every time we ended tied at the end of, like, let's say the 15th inning, or sorry, the end of the top of the 15th inning, and by hook or by crook, if LA gets one single run, the game's over. You don't get a chance to battle back because you already had your
yeah,
shot. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because they were the home team. Speaking of which, do you have any more sports questions? Because I got something I wanted to ask you.
I think that was it.
Okay. Um, so tomorrow night is a crazy night because you have Jays, you have Halloween.
Could be, it could be the final game of
It could be the World Series championship game, but you never know because
because we're
Yoshinobu
in,
Yamamoto is
but
pitching for the.
we're in Toronto
We're in Toronto, and they have home
for
field advantage. They have home field
the
advantage
next two games.
for the rest. We're up in the series 3-2, and yeah, the last two games of the series are in Toronto. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better scenario, to be honest with you. Um,
I wouldn't count the Dodgers out though because
you
they're gonna
can't,
fight.
you can't. They're the World Series reigning champions, and like I said, they have $100 million more in payroll than we do. But like I said, I think, did you say this? They're I know more than one person has said this to me since last night. They're they're a something and we're a team. Did you say that today?
I
No,
don't think
I
so.
was I was on the phone with they're I don't know. There's something like they're I don't know. There's something and we're a team. And that it really is what it is. It's like they're a baseball, they're baseball players and we're a team. And even if
Like
you look,
that.
and even go ahead.
The thing is even people who don't watch sports at all are cheering for the Blue Jays to win. Whether you're a baseball fan, sports fan, you hate Toronto, you like Toronto, it's our only major league baseball team. We haven't made it to the World Series since 93. And we're the only Canadian team. Everybody's with them on this.
Yeah. Well, and
And I can see records in watching tomorrow's game. There's good, even with Halloween, there's going to be records.
well, I mean, Vladdy Guerrero already broke the franchise record for home runs in the playoffs. It was tied at 7. He tied it at 7 before last night's game, and then he knocked a dinger second pitch of the fucking night, which is another record, or third pitch, second batter, and he already surpassed the Blue Jays record of Blue Jays history, for home runs, and that was 8 in the playoffs. I mean, this guy is Mr. October, and I mean, like,
Oh
there's
yeah.
so many things. Like, even if you didn't care about the Jays, what you're watching right now is record-setting baseball, and that's something to really be impressed by. So even if you're a casual fan, check out Ken's baseball games Friday, Saturday, Rogers Center in Toronto, and I'm pretty sure that I know I'll be celebrating like a motherfucker because I've been cheering for these guys for countless years and since April, and watching this team grow and develop and add. Um, like, I can't imagine what it'd be like, but I also know that there's a feeling of destiny attached to these guys, just in the way that they carry themselves and how much they care. Like, nothing's gonna deter them from achieving their goal. These guys, you play 18 innings the night before on the road, and you win the next game. Wow, nice work, fellas. And you win the next game. Tune in tomorrow night,
But
folks, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a rocket of a baseball game, whether we win or lose. And I guarantee you, the night after is going to be a rocket of a baseball game too. Check it out.
winning after that 18 inning game is huge.
Yep,
Because when I saw that 18 innings, that's double the game length.
yep,
And they lost, but they came back and destroyed them.
yep, yeah. And Otani was pitching, like, arguably the best player in baseball since Babe Ruth, and he was pitching, and they lit that fucker up. They got into their bullpen, and I mean, Cy Young Award winner last night, Blake Snell, knock him out of the park. The 2 out of the first 3 pitches. I still think it's the first 2, but whatever. I don't want to mince words or whatever. But I mean, I'm telling you, these guys, and $74 million payroll, $174 million payroll. Come on. I mean, how do you not cheer for these guys? They're like the bad news bears of Major League Baseball this year. And the other thing is, like, you talk about all the people cheering for the Jays. Lots of people hate the Dodgers. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like the Yankees. Um, but if anybody who's a fan of baseball in the States who doesn't like the Dodgers is cheering for the Jays. Like,
Oh yeah.
and hopefully finding out about them, all the things I've been talking about the last few minutes, and going like, man, I really like these guys. I mean, there isn't a single guy on that $74 million payroll that's not going to cash when their next contract's up. I'll tell you that much.
That's crazy. Like it's exciting to see a Canadian team win the World Series.
Yeah. But it hasn't happened in 33 years. 33 years. I'll tell you one last little tidbit. Because you were talking about the 18 inning game. It ended at about 1:40 our time, which is 12:40 in LA where it was being played. And these boys hit the field at 7. Yeah, math doesn't work. Oh no, at 5. Yeah, at 5. They hit the field at 5, because we're an hour ahead. Anyways, Vladdy is usually the last guy to get into the clubhouse because he's the guy that they talk to for the interviews, and he's got to talk to the Spanish folks and all, like he's the franchise player. Really, he's the only guy on the team making over 20 million. Um, LA has, hang on, LA has like I want to make this point just to reinforce what I was saying. LA has one, two, three, four, five. LA has five guys making over 20 million. On the Blue Jays, Vladdy's the only guy, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the only guy making over 20 million.
Oh wow.
Anyway,
Do,
he gets to the
do you think
locker room.
that's gonna? Do you think that's gonna change when if we win?
No, he absolutely signed a $500 million contract
No, but I mean, will other players be
on our
making more
team.
money
Yeah,
on our
like
team?
Bo Bichette on the Blue Jays right now. And I hope he stays, but I don't think he will. It all signs point to him not being around. Um, Bo Bichette makes 17.5 million, and he's the next highest player besides Vladdy's 28.5. And Bichette is a free agent at the end of the year. He's been with Vladdy since they were rookies together, kids, little kid, 10 years, and he may or may not stay. But yeah, like I mean, Davis Schneider, 780K, that guy's gonna cash. I mean, just the experience alone. Kirky, Kirky, like fucking hates his agent right now. Alejandro Kirk, he's our catcher.
Yeah.
He
Well,
makes
he's the
4 point.
midget, right?
He's he's the shortest guy on the team. I don't know. All I'm gonna say. Um,
You
he and
called
he,
him a short. You called him,
I,
uh,
I
uh,
call him a
uh,
little fella.
yeah, little fella, and I got offended.
Okay, well, Kirk. Well, you know what? Like, let him speak for himself. The guy makes four point
No,
six
no,
million.
I
I
got
think he
offended that
signed.
you're equating him with actual little people. He's the same size as you for crying out frickin' loud.
So what are you offended by? I'm proud of
Yeah, but he's
that.
not a midget. Yeah.
Anyways, he makes that guy. I think he signed a new contract this beginning of this year. I don't. I'll have to look it up. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. But 4.6 million. This guy has like I think he has over 10 dingers in the playoffs. No, he can't. Vladdy does. But he's got his
He's got a
numbers.
few.
Yeah, he's got more than a few, and a few of them were clutch against the Mariners and the Yankees. I mean, and you can't ask more from a catcher than what this guy brings. He's been better than Will Smith, who's a well, sorry, Alejandro Kirk is also an All Star, but Will Smith's an All Star too. And Will Smith makes is one of those guys that makes over $20 million a year. Kirky
I thought
makes
he was a
four.
rapper.
Yeah, it's their catcher. Kirky makes $4.6 million a year, and it's insane. Like you want to talk about a value contract? This fucking guy, like, don't even get me started. Like, and if the Dodgers could get Kirky instead of Will Smith, who makes 24 odd million, and the money was even, they would want Kirky, and he makes 4.6. Yeah, Will Smith makes $24 million. That's their catcher, and Kirky's been more prolific at the plate. He's called better games. Like last night when it looked like the 22-year-old Trey Savage was getting a little unruly, threw a couple wild pitches, maybe rattled psychologically. Kirky goes to the mound, talks to him. The kid just smooths out and pitches a gorgeous game after. Not that he didn't before, but as soon as the signs were there, Kirky knows how to call a game. I can't say enough about Alejandro Kirk. He's my favorite player on the team. I fucking love that guy. And he makes $4.6 million a year, and he's an all-star. I mean, come on. We're so lucky to have this ragtag bunch of motherfuckers, and I can't wait to watch the game tomorrow. All I'm going to say about that. So, are you coming? Are we going to do
Okay,
that?
so that's it for the Blue Jays, unless you have something else.
I do. I have a question for you because tomorrow is game 6 of the World Series. The Blue Jays need one more win. The game's in Toronto. It starts at 6 p.m. our time, and it's Halloween.
Uh-huh.
So, because it's Halloween, I want to ask you: have you put some thought into what you're gonna dress up as? Because I know that's a thing for you. And
Um,
it can't be a dwarf or a midget.
Well, that's kind of racist. Um, so I can't dress up like a dwarf character. When did that happen? Where who died? Who
No,
died and who died and gave it and made you the Halloween police?
you can't, like, if you told me you can't dress up as a bald guy, I totally respect that because I'm already a bald guy. I'm not.
So
I'm
if I
actually
dress up
short
as
shrifting. Like I'm.
so if
I'm.
I dress
I'm.
up, I can't dress up as Chucky.
Well, you're dressing up as Chucky. You're not just wearing what you're wearing today and going, "Yeah, I'm dressed up as a midget."
Oh, okay,
That's
yes,
what I
I
meant.
could dress up. I could dress up as a midget character. I just can't go looking like this.
That's what I meant. Like, just so you know, that's what I meant.
This seemed very racist for a minute there. I was actually kind of offended. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go grab a couple of pieces from my costume and see if you can figure it out.
Oh, okay. So what you've been? Well, obviously you haven't been preparing for this because if you did, you wouldn't be going to grab them and going off screen.
I
Thank God
didn't
I'm the
have it.
talent. Thank God I'm the
I
talent because that was really
I didn't. I didn't
unprofessional.
have it. I didn't have it sitting next to me.
Oh, well, it's Freddy Krueger. Yeah, it's Freddy Krueger,
And I've got
right?
face paint because I was going to get the mask, but drinking while wearing a mask, taking it off all the time, sort of hard to stay in character. So I got a little bit of face paint. But yeah, I got the glove and everything.
Yeah, like you don't need the mask. I mean, it's pretty scary as it is. You don't want to overwhelm
Yeah, no,
people.
I got face paint, so I'm going to put some blood and some
You don't need
broken
anything,
skin,
dude. I
and
think I'm scared.
you're going to be scared when these are at your nuts.
You got to try
Let
this.
let 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 me give you an exam,
Yeah,
Mooney.
crush the
Let's
sweet.
test our friendship.
So you have the
Let's test
shirt and
it.
everything.
I have the sweater. I have I have the gloves and then makeup.
Did he have only the one glove or was it two? I
I no
watched.
he did one.
I watched
I
the
thought he
original.
did I thought he did two, but it's just but but one's good enough. And but the thing is I was hoping it was a left glove, but he wore it on his right hand. So I but now if I wear the glove, I have to drink beer uh with my gloves. So hopefully I don't get too drunk and
You
cut
don't
my
have to.
eyes out.
You don't have to wear that fucker like all night. Like I think people will get the point. You
But
know,
yeah,
like
so but but one thing I totally like that blows my mind about Halloween is so that's there. So with the sweater, uh, just a small thing of face makeup, the gloves and the hats cost me $130.
what the fuck? Where did you go to like the? Okay, yeah, we never went to the Halloween thing. Remember we said we were gonna go and
No,
we didn't.
I went to Halloween. Uh, Spirit of Halloween, I think is the one I went to.
You
But
laid
yeah,
out
like
100
not
odd bucks in that joint.
yeah, like
Is that a
but I
Stetson? That
guess
fucking hat.
no. Like, but I guess my Chucky costume. No, my Chucky costume was less than that. My Chucky costume was $75 for the costume, and then which came with a wig, and I bought a mask, so it was under $100 for Chucky. But
Yeah,
this is like, and the thing
I would
with
have rocked the Chucky with just the mask, or sorry, just the wig. I mean, you don't need like you can still be you, and everyone's gonna go, Jimmy, that's awesome. Whereas if you're wearing a mask, you know, they're like, oh, who's this, right?
really, I'm going to tell you a story. So I dressed up and I was wearing a full like rubber mask and the whole nine yards, and it was
Yeah,
for an office Halloween party back at a previous job I had, like one of the telemarketing places I worked at, and it was payday. So I had to go deposit my check in the bank. I walked into the bank and it actually has signs at the bank, take your masks off at the door. I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. I walked in. and security was eyeing me up. I think I was wearing a ninja mask, and security was eyeing me up, and one of the regular tellers says to the security, "No, no, no, that's just Jimmy. Don't worry about it." Um, hey, Jimmy, how's it going? And but the security was eyeing me up, going in there with a ninja mask on, and I didn't even think about it. And then my boss at the time, he goes, "You're a moron," and I'm like, "You're just learning that now?" Like,
I know, right? Like that guy's on a slow learning curve. So what happens
but
if you rob the bank? What do you say? They give me your change.
yeah, no, no.
Give me
If
all
I
your
if I'm
change.
no, if I'm robbing,
Give me all
if
your
I'm
small
robbing the
bills.
bank, no, dude. The ultimate line is you go in, hey, give me all your money and don't shortchange me.
There you go. That's the
There,
one.
see that, dude. If you're gonna do a short joke, you got to do it right.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
gotta know how to tell it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I'm ready for Halloween, but yeah, so buying
Well,
Halloween costumes because
dude,
like
I
with
gotta
that
t-
there, like. But the thing is I got the Chucky costume, which came with everything, and then I just got a mask on top of it. Whereas with this, they didn't have an everything costume. You had to buy each individual piece.
well, that's how they fuck you.
Yeah,
It's a la carte. Um,
yeah.
let let me ask you this because like I know you like I know how much you like Halloween and shit, and I know we're gonna hang out anyway. But um, what? Yeah, there's two questions. Like, number one, is that hat really nice, or is it like one of those cheapo fucking Halloween things? Because that's got to be made of leather if you're paying over $100.
No, it's felt.
Ah, for fuck's
Felt. It
sakes!
is felt.
Like,
Felt rubber
like
cardboard. But I don't think the hat was that much. Like the costume, like the sweater was $60.
what's that made out of? Like fucking.
It's wool. It's like a wool sweater. It's like it's, but you're paying for the name. You're paying for the character. You're not paying for the what it costs you. And even the glove itself is it's all plastic. Like it's
Yeah,
not
it's like
metal.
it's like that kid shit that you had when we were growing up or
Yeah,
whatever.
because
But
I could have bought a better glove,
yeah,
and that was going to cost me another $50 on top of what I paid for this one, or $40 or whatever it
that's fucked
was.
up.
Like
So let me ask you this: like,
it's not cheap.
I said you can't. Like, I'm confused now because obviously you took my joke the wrong way. I was like, you can't be a midget, meaning like you can't just show up and go, I'm dressed as a midget because
I
I'm a
would,
midget.
dude, I would never do
I
that.
know, I know you
I
would. No,
dress how
stop.
no, but
Don't get
Halloween,
distracted. Don't get
no,
stop
dressing up
talking.
is my bread and butter.
Stop talking for like I don't know, like 40
Okay,
seconds.
I've, I've,
Just it.
my
All
words are
right,
not
listen.
leaving.
I'm making my point. For like 40 seconds, you thought that's what I meant, and then you're like, oh, like racist. But you weren't dressing up as a midget anyway because you got the Freddy Krueger thing.
Yes, I could have dressed up as Chucky. I have a leprechaun outfit. I have Elvis,
I know you got all kinds of shit.
and
I don't know why you didn't do.
I'd be a midget Elvis. Um,
I don't want
I
to say
actually
anything bad about.
almost
I don't want to say anything bad about Freddy Krueger because you laid out all that fucking cash. But I'm telling you, dude, like the Freddy Krueger, like I don't get it. I'm not getting it.
it's just this scary of a midget and bladed objects near your ass and balls. I'd be afraid. Like when I dressed as Chucky, I made people cry last year.
So why not
Um,
recycle Chucky instead of laying out like 100 odd for?
I you know I wanted it's one day a year. Like I know guys I used to work with in radio. Uh, the one guy, you might know his name, Yukon Jack. he starts working on his costume in the spring, and he goes full giver, like, and he builds it all from scratch. He's had some amazing costumes. We had this other guy that he won second place. No, he won first place, and Yukon won second, and I won third. And he dressed up. Do you remember the movie Scrooge with Bill
Yeah,
Murray?
Bill Murray. Yeah,
And the Ghost of the Christmas Future, which is the guy in the uh, with like the TV screen for a face.
yep.
Andrew tore out the screen of a TV and rebuilt it. It was attached to his head, and he had braces so that it would hold in place. Like they spent months building their costumes, and I got
I think
third
that's really
place.
cool.
And I got third place by growing out sideburns and putting on a singlet, and I was Andre the Giant.
That's awesome. I think that's great. And you know what? I have no quarter with like. I think that's the word. I have no beef with anybody that digs Halloween, and like honestly, I'm legit impressed with the guys that get really, and especially now online and shit, you can see people that come up with crazy shit, especially for their kids. And I legit think it's great. My kids never went to school with like a plastic costume. Like they all dressed really well and looked good, um, and liked what they were. I'm not really one of those guys. I know you are, and of all the
I
things
just
that
dressed up for, but one of the reasons why I picked that specific outfit, I think that's kind of where you're going there,
ish, yeah.
is for this going to a bar, and my other costumes, I wanted to wear normal pants. So I
Okay,
could
that makes
act
sense. Yeah,
so I didn't have to have a fanny pack or a backpack
yeah.
like for my so that's why I picked Freddy Krueger so I can wear normal pants, I wear black pants and dress like that because like my Chucky outfit I had to either have a shoulder bag or a fanny pack or and even my Elvis costume. Actually, the problem I had with my Chucky and my Elvis costume is to go to the bathroom, you have to take the entire thing off. How much of a pain? Like I can understand going to a party,
Well,
but if you're drinking,
yeah,
and
with your
once
prostate,
it's, I will give you an exam when I come see you
with that glove.
with the glove,
No,
and
you're
it's my
leaning
right
into
hand too.
Mooney. You're sorry, you're leaning into Mooney. Like you're being more practical. Like
Exactly.
good for you.
Like
Like
I
I'll applaud you for that. Cheers.
because I was gonna wear my Elvis costume that I wore when I was in Vegas, but you
Is it
have to
like the
take it
whole
like you
zip
have to.
up suit? You gotta.
It's it's not zip up like you could it opens to about the like just below your boob like
Yeah, you still gotta
so it comes
peel the arms
peel
out.
it off, peel the arms out, take it all the way down, like
But the
that's
zipper
not.
doesn't go down to your boxers. You can't just zip it down like and then yank out.
No, it just goes it goes like not even to your belly button, and it's not a zipper, it's because it's a total V. It's the white one, it's the white Elvis.
Dude, that's what you like. I've never seen you wear that, and I don't want to. I don't want you to show me any videos or pictures. You got to wear that next year.
you, you've
We'll
seen
put that.
you've seen the picture because I've worn
Well,
that in Vegas
I don't remember seeing it, and I don't want to see it. I want you to do that next year.
because if we ever go to Vegas, I'm wearing that in Vegas.
Perfect.
Because
Good. Then park it. Park it.
it's the white one with the jewel like
Yeah.
with the stones and stuff
Well,
and
it's
with the
like you're
red
like
scarf.
that's funny that you mentioned that because like you're a local celebrity. We've already documented that on the show. That like wherever we go, people are like, I want a picture with Jimmy and all that, and it's like if that was me, I'd be like, I would like to be anonymous. I wouldn't want people to, every time I went for a beer with my buddy Mooney, I wouldn't want to be, I don't want to say accosted because I know you enjoy it, but, and then
And
we go to
and you know,
Vegas. So then we'd actually go to Vegas where you could avoid that and you're going to dress up like Elvis.
dude, when I when we were walking down Fremont Street and I was just dressed in pants and a t-shirt, right? Walking down Fremont, no one knows who I am in frickin' L
But
in
you're wearing the
Vegas.
thing.
Uh, no, I wasn't. I was just dressed normal,
Yeah,
walking down the street, and people were, "Hey, can I get a picture taken with you?" Because I'm a midget.
that's it.
They want to get a pic. That's it. And then and I was saying, okay, $5, and they're like, okay. And then I'm like, fuck this shit.
Wow.
And then I go back to the hotel and put on the Elvis costume and walk down and ask for
20.
$10. No,
I'd be
I asked
20.
for 10. I how much I made it to almost $100 when security came to
Sweet.
me and said, are you paying to be here? No.
Yeah, because
Then
they have rules about that.
because they have where people pay to be in spots where they're busking and doing all that kind of stuff. And I got in shit. So I went back and took off my
What
Elvis.
did you charge girls that wanted to party?
Buy me a drink.
Whoa.
I was a slut,
Did-
dude.
did-
Get me drunk, baby.
Get me drunk, it'll last more than 30 seconds. So
But
so okay, all the Halloween talk aside, you need to get a haircut. You need to take that down to the wood, I think, again.
I'm wearing the hat.
I don't mean you should take it down to the wood for the thing.
For what?
Like for Freddy Krueger. Like wasn't he bald?
No.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You
I
should anyway, because
no.
I like.
I'll tell you why. Because this hair, winter's coming, baby. This is survival mode. I dude. I just throw a toque on this, I don't shave my hair in the winter. I'm not a moron, you know.
I like you bald. I think you look tougher.
Yeah, but it's just,
It's also
but you also,
solidarity.
like it.
I had a whole like dwarfism awareness Eve party for you, and you can't even take it down to the wood for me. That's nice. At least I know where I
You and
stand.
your dwarfism awareness, Eve. I almost stabbed you that night,
It's
and
because you
I would
drank
have
so
ground
much.
you. I
That
would have
nothing to.
ground you. I would have ground you up and made you into my next chili recipe. Um,
So, anyways, for the record, tomorrow is not only Halloween, but the Blue Jays play Game 6 of the World Series at 6 p.m. Mountain Time
did you
at
reserve
Sher.
us a table at Sherbrooke?
I did so. We got a booth at Sherbrooke. We got our regular booth at Sherbrooke from last time, and there's karaoke too. So if anyone wants to hear Jimmy sing "Friends in Low Places" or someone good
I do.
sing,
I do. Friends in Low Places, The Gambler, and The River. All country tunes.
like "The
Hey,
River" by Springsteen.
Garth Brooks.
Oh,
A dream is like a river, ever changing as it flows. And a dreamer's just a vessel
okay, we're
that
good.
must
We're good.
follow where it goes,
We're trying
never
to encourage.
knowing what's behind you,
We're
never
trying to.
knowing what's in store. Makes each day a constant battle just to stay between the shores.
So
Yeah, you can clap now. Um,
anybody that still has their lunch and they can tolerate that, we're going to be at Sherbrooke Pub tomorrow night celebrating Halloween. Hopefully, a Blue Jays World Series pennant and singing karaoke. So looking forward to it. Jimmy as Freddy Krueger.
hey,
You got to take
this
that down to the
just,
wood.
I'm not taking it down to the wood. I shaved all my beard off. That's good enough. Um,
Congratulations. That's not what I'm looking for.
I don't care. I don't do this for you. I do it for me. Um, hey, this just in. I just saw this on the wire. You've heard it here first, folks. King Charles III strips Prince Andrew of all his titles and evicts him from royal residence because of all the Harvey Weinstein, and there's more stuff coming out about
No,
Andrew.
Jeffrey Epstein,
Yeah, Epstein. What did I say?
Harvey Weinstein, just
Okay, close.
just a lovely Broadway
It's
guy.
just, but they're both horrible people. But
No, Harvey
one
Weinstein.
worse
Harvey Weinstein is like a Broadway
is a
comedian type guy.
rapist. No, Harvey Weinstein is the the
It's not
producer on a
Harvey.
lot of movies. No,
It's
but
not
Harvey,
Harvey.
no. This is the
It's not
Epstein
Harvey.
is no. Yes,
I
it
know what
is.
you're getting at. I don't think it's Harvey. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Sorry, you're right. I'm wrong. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, go to hell.
They're both Me Too guys, but Jeffrey Epstein was like a plague
but
on the Me
but
Too
but
movement.
but Harvey Weinstein is in prison
Yeah,
for
you're
raping a
right.
bunch of women. Um, but the difference between him and Epstein is Epstein sold women, like yeah. So, but
I,
yeah,
like
he
you just said
Prince.
this just in. I read that earlier. I read that before the cast, and that's not even why I'm telling you I don't care. I'm telling you I don't care because I give absolutely zero fucks about the monarchy. Always, never
No, but
have, never will.
I'm just the reason why I'm saying that is, look, and I'm not saying it that our king did anything. That's not where I'm going because he needed to kick that ass out of there. He was making the monarchy. The only reason he was still there and in residence is Mama is the only reason.
Whatever,
I'm
man. Like
just
I like the
I
royal
know
Tannenbaums. I could give two fucks. Like honestly, I couldn't give like got
wow,
no time for that.
you're so
Like
negative.
the amount of attention that these useless do nothings get in the history of the world is speaks nothing more than how little we think of our own selves. And I refuse
Wow.
to acquiesce to that kind of like time wasting and tomfuckery. Just my opinion.
Well, you just totally sucked the whole energy out of the podcast with your negativity. Um, I I feel like I was just bit by a vampire.
Said the
Uh,
guy who just tried to sing Garth Brooks for our loyal listeners to endure.
and
But
and you know what? And our
and for
royal
my next
listeners,
act, I'm
and
going to talk
and
about
and
how the Royals are bickering amongst each other.
and and our royal listeners are actually going to be replaying that part of the podcast, going, "Hey, I want to hear Jimmy sing the river." Um, but yeah, that's
So as much
you.
fun as we've tried to convey, or that we had in the more than a week since we last did a cast, there is more trouble afoot tomorrow night and the following night, and karaoke Rosario's on Saturday. I'll talk to you about it off air. Um, and
I
yeah,
feel like I feel like I have something going on Saturday.
yeah. Well, we can talk about it after. Anyway, I'm just
Yeah,
saying for
but
all the heart and soul that I gave and the indulgence and you know Jimmy
but this
pleasing
was
that
the
he was
bald.
begging me
But
for.
okay, okay. So now this was the bald and short of it podcast. I am James P. White. That is Chris Mooney. Mooney, shut the hell up and let's end the podcast because your whining is really getting on my nerves. Have a
Love
great
you,
day,
brother.
folks.